Bonjour, bonjour mes rebelles intelligents. Guess where I am? I am currently in the US and I just left this Chase building because guess what? I just got expelled from Chase, which is my American bank. So let me share with you this story because I think it's like the perfect embodiment, like the perfect example of a company who completely failed to adapt to new ways of working and is basically stuck in 1988, and how it's going to be completely disrupted by new services, new companies that really embrace the new ways of working. So I created a bank account with Chase in 2015 to basically because I invested in real estate in Florida, in actually Fort Lauderdale, close to Miami. So just to receive the rents and pay for the expenses, like basic stuff. And everything went smoothly, except I received an amazing letter from Chase saying, "Hey, hello, how are you, sir? Well, we have great news for you. We decided to close your account. Thank you, goodbye." No explanations at all. So I called maybe 5 times my banker. He tried, to dispute the decision. He tried to understand why. He couldn't get anything. He told me, "I'm sorry, I don't know why they decided to close it, but it's like definitive choice. We cannot do anything else." So I was like, okay, that's fair. And I said, okay, well, I wanted to continue doing business with you, but if you don't want, that's fine. So I use like TransferWise. TransferWise is a service that allows you to convert currencies with a much lower fee than what the traditional banks do. And I opened a bank account with them through their amazing service called TransferWise borderless accounts, where basically you can create a bank account in like euros, US dollars, pounds, Australian dollars in 2 clicks. So I created this bank account in US dollars. Now I'm receiving the rents on it, and I tried, of course, to wire the money I had with Chase to my TransferWise bank account. So I logged on the website and wired the money. And I don't know what happened, but it seems like it triggered like a few security things. And basically they said, "Hey, no, we're not wiring your money to your new account, sorry. Oh, hey, by the way, we forgot to tell you, you can't also log in anymore to the website. You cannot log on your own account because it's suspicious. Why do you want to wire all the money to a new account?" Well, maybe because you're closing my account, I don't have any choice. So I called my banker again and he told me, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but there is only one solution for you to unlock this situation is to come to a Chase bank." And I said, "But I'm living in London, UK. I will not make the trip only for that." He said, "I'm sorry, there is nothing I can do." I was like, holy cow, it's such an absurd situation. And I needed to go to a Chase bank office just so they can verify that I was really myself. But I told him, why we don't do a Skype call and you can see my face and I can show you my passport and then I'm authenticated. How can I fake that? And he said, "Yeah, but that's not how we work, So, guys, it's such a perfect example of like a company that is stuck in 1988 because they still rely on phone calls, on like very old ways to authenticate you. They assume you can be physically present. They don't understand, they don't embrace the new technologies because really, why can't you authenticate someone with a video Skype call? I did that to buy real estate in Canada with a notary from Quebec. Recently, I opened a Revolut bank account, which is also like kind of TransferWise. They offer a lot of interesting services for very low fees. And they told me, "Hey!" When I logged on my app on the iPhone, I got a message saying, "Hey, so you've been using Revolut, thank you. Now we need to authenticate you to make sure you're like a normal guy. So can you take a photo of your passport and then a selfie of yourself?" It took me maybe 30 seconds. 3 minutes later, I got a message on the app saying, "Thank you, you're validated. Thank you for being a valuable customer." Come on guys, come on Chase, why you cannot do that? Why not just ask me to take a photo of my passport and then a selfie of myself? What can go wrong? And if you're really suspicious, again, Skype video call. So long story short, it just so happened that a flight I was supposed to take yesterday has been delayed, which means I'm stuck one day in Dallas, here, Texas, which means I've been able to come to the bank office. And guess what? They couldn't help me. They managed to unlock the fact that I can go online to my account, but they cannot do the wire payment. Why? Because my account is restricted, and so I don't know why, but it seems I cannot take my money anymore. So it's such a mess. It's an absurd, messy situation. And it seems like the banker was really helpful. He was really sorry to see what was happening, but he couldn't help me. So the solution we found is I took like a check here, and I will write to myself a check and cash it in my UK bank account. That's the only solution we can find. Because now that I have access again to my online account, I can't wire the money to the TransferWise account without it being triggered again, and it will be a whole mess all again. So guys, maybe I was a bit too much on the details, but just see how sometimes like big companies like Chase, it's a fucking big bank, they do such absurd things as like telling like honest customers that has all the reasons in the world to have a bank account with them. I mean, I have real estate, and I mean, it's a perfectly legitimate business. So when you see companies like rejecting perfectly legitimate customers, creating a hell of bureaucracy for them, and at the same time you have companies like TransferWise that allows you to create a bank account in like 2 clicks. They validate you entirely remotely, you don't have to meet anyone. It's a very smooth and clean process. I mean, you wonder how it's possible, but it's happening all the time. All the time you have like these kind of companies that are like giants that are completely blind to this kind of stuff, that are completely blind to the simple solutions like a video Skype call that could help customers and also their own employees, because this guy, he took 1 hour of his time to try to help me, and he couldn't. I mean, think about all the frustration, the loss of time, of productivity, of money it creates for everyone. It's insane. And the fact, my dear rebels intelligents, is like it can happen to all of us to be in this kind of situation where we are completely blind to the new possibilities, the new ways of working. It can happen to all of us to become the dinosaurs of our own market. So how do we prevent that? Well, I think it's basically like life habit you need to continuously learn new stuff, to continuously adapt to like new technologies, and to understand that it doesn't serve anyone to be stuck in a time that doesn't exist anymore. Because come on, 1988 it was great, but it was a long time ago, and you don't need phone calls anymore and physical visits to authenticate someone. You can do it remotely without problems, and all the startups of the fintech industry prove it every day. So, mes chers rebelles intelligents, I'm curious, did something like that happen to you in the past? Did you stumble upon like a stupid procedure that really drove you crazy? And what did you do about it? And maybe did you find a competitor that was a little bit smarter than the company who created all this mess for you? Thank you for watching. See you next week. And in the meantime, don't forget, be intelligent, be rebel, and be sure to be part of the disruptors and not the dinosaurs. Thank you.